There we are, too bad. So a lot of fun to play. The setup that we have, that you probably have seen, is a little bit different than how a lot of the bands have set up for the weekend here. I tried to set this group up very similar to how they look in the Vitaphone short when they play the Varsity Drag, which we will be doing on the program tonight. And so it also gave the brass a chance to be in the light since they're normally down in the dark, so we put them over here in the light so everybody can see their bright, smiling faces. So we're going to jump to 1926, again under Abe Lyman's California Orchestra. And this is one that was a composition of Elmer Schobel, who the first one was by that as well, Too Bad. Well, this one is also by him, and he was another Chicago boy. So I think at some point Abe and him probably knew one another, and they were getting the arrangements from each other. So this one is entitled Ace in the Hole. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hughes on trombone, the solo there. He was playing the Orlando Slim Martin trombone solo, and I remember when I first contacted him about playing the part, and you're like, hey, you get to be Slim Martin, and he started hearing all that he could do on the trombone, and he goes, oh my gosh, this guy is incredible. He goes, I have some work to do on this, so he's been working hard at getting all that Slim Martin sound and doing a great job with it, so. You're welcome. So we're going to jump to 1925. As I said, the band made their first recordings in 1923. But this is, again, another Elmer Schobel tune. And I wanted to play it because it's from 25, and it's a great song. People do recognize it, entitled Everybody Stomp. for Andrew Oliver on piano. Andrew is playing the role of Gus Arnheim, who was the piano player for the great Abe Lyman Orchestra. And at a very early age, Abe Lyman was actually working for Gus Arnheim as well as Henry Halstead, getting his start. So yeah, you're Gus Arnheim tonight. So you got the looks just like him too.
I'm also from the most proximate to California.
Yes, you are, from Oregon. So he is the furthest West Coast musician we have here. So this is right in your turf. So there we go. Okay, so with doing the set, that's some of the hot stuff. Well, they had some sweet records that were still hot as well, and I wanted to include some vocals, especially since we have Spats Langham in the band. So I love his vocals, and so we're going to have him croon a couple for you tonight here. And it goes all the way back to our, as I said, our Davenport days, and it's been just a joy and a pleasure being his friend all these years, and that's what makes these festivals so great. Is it's like we're all family, and when musicians first saw each other after 3 years, it was some of the best feelings I got in a long time, so post-COVID especially. So it's great being on stage, performing all this music with everybody, because as I think Mike Davis said, we've heard it on Finale for so long, now we can finally hear it in person and all the work. So, and see smiling faces in the audience. This is what we absolutely love. So, so we're gonna do a song now from 1928, and we're gonna have Spats sing That's My Weakness Now.
Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to take a second to introduce the brass section. That gives them a little breather here, because everybody's working hard, and it's been, again, a fun weekend, and we're moving on through here. So on the brass section, as I already introduced him on trombone, we have Graham Hughes. Lovely to have him in the group playing trumpet. Always have loved listening to him, and it's always a pleasure having him on stage. We have Enrico Tomasso on trumpet. And doing a great job with all the solos, and such a fine gentleman as well, always smiling and happy. Love it. We have Torstein Kubban on trumpet. The next song is going to feature our reed section to start, and this comes from one of the two selections I picked from Abe Lyman's Sharps and Flats, which do some really hot music, and so this is a chance for the clarinet section to wail away, especially Michael McQuaid, who can literally just go nuts. So he can take his tie off, take the coat off, and just do the whole thing. So I'm kind of the last of this. So this one is their recording from 1928 entitled Sand.
Ready? Yeah. Okay. Hold on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
They were a rip-roaring version of Sand by Abe Lyman's Sharps and Flats, and so I think that's a very expensive record too. I think it's like around $40, $50. Record collectors, am I about right?
Yeah.
Jonathan? Yes? Maybe? What? How much would you pay for it?
Maybe a bit more.
Bit more? Okay.
Any advance?
All right, we're going to do another one from the Sharps and Flats, a different recording session, and this is one that I absolutely heard first with the Lyman music and just fell in love with it, and then I down the rabbit hole of music I went and found more of their library and fell in love with it. But it's a perfect title for what we're doing here this weekend. The title is A Jazz Holiday.
And 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Good evening, John. Good evening, Spats. All right, the next one is one that the band did not record. So I made my own arrangement of this, and I watched the film Pardon My Gun from 1930. And this featured the Abe Lyman Orchestra, all in 10-gallon hats and cowboy suits. And what I love about it is that Abe Lyman is actually not the drummer. He's up directing and in front of the band. One of my favorite drummers of all time is the drummer on video, and I get to watch him drum, and that is Vic Burton. And so there he is up front, just going wild and crazy. I'll try to replicate that, but I'm no Vic Burton. But I heard this song, and it sure enough is the running theme for the weekend. This is entitled "The Man from the South." But what I absolutely love is all the versions you will have heard are all different, which shows what makes those bands great in the 20s is they all had their own sound and style. And that's what makes this festival incredible, is that we keep coming up with ideas that are fresh and exciting. Nothing is ever repeating. So that's how much good quality music is in the 20s and 30s and so on. So here is Abe Lyman's version, so I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, we ready? All right. Ready, Henri? Okay. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, there we are, The Man from the South. So if you do watch the film, it's only about like a minute 50 long, so that's why I wrote the arrangement to really extend it, and that's what the Lyman Band literally was doing on the film, was just going crazy like that. So I thought, we have such a fine brass section, we could just let them just go wild and crazy for a second, and boy, they didn't disappoint. That's amazing. So. Yeah. Well, I'll introduce the reed section here, and again, another fine reed section we have with us on stage here. On tenor sax and clarinet, we have Richard Exall. again, a very dear friend I've known for many years, and very proud to call him my friend all the way when I met him back in Australia. And he truly is, in my mind, an icon to this music today, and will continue it for many, many years. We have Michael McQuaid on alto sax. And on the end, wow, his Ted Weems set last night and his piano set today were just absolutely brilliant. And on alto sax and clarinet, we have Mauro Porro. So the band, I told them at rehearsal that there was a few surprises that I had in mind, and this is one of them that's going to be coming up here. They have no clue what's going to happen, and I hope it comes off very well here. They're kind of scared a little bit, but they're all good surprises. And yeah, everybody's a little bit of, it's okay. I'm not going to do anything that'll not get me back home. So what we're going to do is, I don't think it's ever been done at Whitley Bay before. So I took time when I was at home over COVID, and I was kind of, I should say first, we as a family turned a negative into a positive. And my wife and I are always going opposite ends. And when COVID shut everything down, we lost our jobs, of course. Our basement flooded with 6 inches of water in a torrential downpour, and so we had to have foundation repairs. It was like everything was hitting us one after the other. And so we had people helping us from all over the world, and I was trying to do online programs. There's only so much I can do as a drummer. Horn players were, Enrico's doing brilliant programs, Andy and all of them. There's only so much people want to hear of drumming. So I tried to do a couple things, but the generosity of people were outstanding to help us get the repairs done for our old home in Davenport. But we turned the negative into the positive by spending family time together and doing meals together and movies. And that was the one piece of advice I learned when my son was born almost 16 years ago now. A musician told me, don't ever miss out on your family life. I did that with my kids, and they hate me for it now. They said, try to be at everything you can in your kid's life because they will remember it for always. And for me, family has always come first and always will. And even on Thursday night when the jam was happening, my son had a cross-country banquet at home. So I FaceTimed my wife and I sat out in the lobby for 2 hours with him during the banquet to watch him get his award. And so he saw me on the video and just absolutely loved it. And so he'll always remember that. And so we turned those couple months into spending quality family time together. And so over time, though, I was like, what can I do to get creative? So I took my iPhone, went to my Victrola, put a record on, and I just started doing like little recordings. I'm like, oh, I like that needle sound. I like the surface noise. I like it going into the grooves at the end. And I know we have record collectors here. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually play 78 surface noise during this next recording. So you're actually going to hear the needle hit. And hopefully we time it out so that you can hold your applause so you actually hear the grooves going. We're going to try it and see what happens. So I'm going to cue them to start, and the band has to be ready to go. So, and Spats will be singing with surface noise.
Is this on? Someone said my voice was a bit scratchy.
So this is from 1928. This is the Abe Lyman version of Sweethearts on Parade with surface noise. So have it cranked. Are we ready, band? This is going to be fun. Okay, go ahead. One, two. There we are. The record people, that's what we're used to hearing, all those pops and scratches. Nothing digital, that's all it right there. So, love it. So thank you so much. That was great. All right, so for the next one, we have another surprise in store here. So we need to have a Spats. Your microphone needs to go over to Henri, if it can, please. And I'm going to be passing this microphone down to Mauro. And we have a couple guest vocalists on this next song here, and that's all I'm going to say. I'll say first that Mauro, you have it at right before letter K. Okay? Okay. Okay. Henri, you have it right before letter L. Okay? And our other vocalist we have before letter M will be Klaus Jacoby, who will be down here with Mauro. So I'm going to pass the mic around and speak acoustically.
Say something, Henri.
It's good.
So, the next song we're going to play, normally this is a band vocal, but I have decided to change it up. And instead of the band saying, "shake that thing," we're going to hear it in Italian, French, and German. And so, again, we have Mauro Porro, Italian. Henri Lemaire for France. And Klaus Jacoby for Germany. So here we are with the Abe Lyman version of "Shake That Thing." And 1, 2, 3.
Ding!
How about a hand for Mauro Porro on vocals? Henri Lemaire on vocals. And Jacoby on vocals. We've come to the final song again for this evening. I know there's going to be a great jam session coming up here, but I've said it many, many times, and I know the musicians have too, that this is literally the place where this can happen, the only place where this can happen. If I play this music back home, people look at me like I have crickets coming out of my ears. So it's truly a pleasure and an honor to see people smiling and enjoying the music out there as much as we're enjoying it on stage here. And I still think back to the first time I met Mike and Patty, and all this started when I was really young, and Mike was so supportive of young musicians, especially going to Phil's event in Racine and putting Dave Bach and Andy and I together and jamming out. It was just one of those moments in life that I always want to give thanks where thanks is due. And I wouldn't be here without Mike and Keith and all these people that have helped get me to this point. And so it truly is an honor and pleasure to be on this stage, sharing this music with all these fantastic musicians who are just working so hard all weekend long to make everybody's dreams come true with their sets that they have planned. So if you can help me with a round of applause for these fine musicians, I'd love to appreciate it. So in the back row, I know I haven't officially announced them yet, but again, on piano we have Andrew Oliver. Yeah. We have Henri Lemaire on string bass. We have Mr. Thomas Spats Langham on banjo and vocals. And last but certainly not least, doing a wonderful job on violin, we have Emma Fisk. And so some of you have probably noticed out in the lobby, as I said, I have the pictures there, but I have my Greystone Monarchs EP, and that was something I did over COVID as well. And that was something I was proud of for a release, because Michael was a part of that, and Mike Davis and Andy. And my Monarchs played in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, which is the hometown of Chauncey Morehouse. And we played on the same exact stage where the Gene Goldkett Orchestra played in 1927. I held a free concert for the community because I wanted to bring Chauncey's music back to his hometown. And so Brian Wright from Rivermont Records came out and recorded the event with a ribbon microphone, and we selected 4 sides to put onto an EP. That's a vinyl 78 that is out there. And I was only able to bring a few with my suitcase due to weight. It weighed 49.7 pounds, so I just got it under the 50-pound mark. So if you are interested, I know some people have already bought them. I said if you want some of the musicians to sign them, this is the first time we've all been together since then. So I know we'd love to do that for you, but if you don't have a record player, that's fine, because you can also get an MP3 of it as well. So it's a beautiful Art Deco sleeve that shows the Capitol Theater in Chauncey Morehouse, and on the back it tells about the event. So, because when I get back, I get to drive to Plymouth, Indiana, the hometown of Gene Goldkett, and that's where he immigrated to, I should say, in the 1910s, and we're doing an entire Goldkett concert for the community. And so I love those type of concerts where I bring that music back to the community. They can learn the history about who was living at the time. So I'm very excited about that. But first, I wanted to be here playing all the music, and this was a dream come true tonight, so thank you for that. And we're going to close our set with the Vitaphone short number of Abe Lyman's Orchestra playing the Varsity Drag.
Josh Duffee.
Our next selection will be the Varsity Drag. 1, 2.
McQuaid, Richard Exall, Torstein Kubban, Enrico Tomasso, Brian Hughes, Andrew Oliver, Henri Lemaire, Thomas Spats Langham, and Emma Fisk. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend and have a fun Sunday. Thank you so much.
Josh Duffee, folks. Josh Duffee.